Hello students, welcome to analytical chemistry class. Today class will discuss an important topic of analytical chemistry, that is chromatography. So what is chromatography? So it is an important technique used to separate different components present in a mixture. So it is a qualitative technique to separate the components of a mixture. In this method, we will qualitatively as well as quantitatively analyze the different components present in a mixture. What are the prerequisites you should know before studying chromatography? So it is every student should know what is qualitative analysis, what is quantitative analysis, what are different separation technique, and what are the nature of analytes, whether it is a polar compound or whether it is a non-polar compound. So this idea or this knowledge should be required for discussion of chromatography. What are the learning outcomes? So each and every student after the class can explain chromatography and its application, describe basic terms of chromatography, discuss classification of chromatography, and apply the principle of different chromatography for separation and identification of compounds. Chromatography is a technique used to separate and identify the components of a mixture. So it is a physical method of separation in which the components to be separated and distributed between two phases, that is one which is a stationary phase and other which is a mobile phase, and the mobile phase here moves in a definite direction. So what was the history of chromatography? So in 1906, M. Twister, a Russian botanist, he used chromatography to separate plant pigments. So you know the pigments of the plant are different colors. So this is a colorful separation of plant pigment which was done using a column of calcium carbonate, that is your chalk. So this new technique was called chromatography because the analysis and whatever the result he got, he written in color. That means here chromatography come from two words, that is chroma and graphene. Chroma means color and graphene means to write. So for this botanist named these techniques chromatography. Let us discuss the principle of chromatography. So, this chromatography works by allowing the molecules present in a mixture to distribute themselves between a stationary and mobile phase. So, the molecules which spend most of their time in the mobile phase will carried along faster. Here see, this is the mixture of compound. So, when this mixture, this will pass through, this is the mobile phase, then they will separated on the basis of different techniques. So that means the compound will separate on the basis of polarity. So there are different types of chromatography on the basis of on the nature of chromatography. So this mobile phase, that is the components of chromatography. One is mobile phase and another is stationary phase. A solvents that flow through the supporting medium, that is known as the mobile phase. And stationary phase, it is a layer or coating on the supporting medium that interacts with the compounds or mixtures or analytes. So what is a supporting medium? A solid surface on which the stationary phase is bound or coated, that is known as your supporting medium. So that means here the supporting medium that glass plate can take or aluminum plate can take. So over this glass plate or aluminum plate, there is the coating of silicon oxide or aluminum oxide. So this is served as your stationary phase, and mobile phase will take various of solvents. So that solvents may be polar or non-polar. Then the compounds, then the mixtures, they will separated on the basis of polarity. So if we are taking our this stationary phase, the coating material, if we are taking a, that is a suppose silicon oxide, so it is neutral. So that means what will happen here? So if you take this, the mixed compound, the compound will be, that contains number of mixtures, number of variety of compounds, polar and non-polar compounds. So when we will take a non-polar solvent, if the mobile phase is non-polar, then the non-polar components will move faster and the polar components will move slower. If we will take the polar solvent, then what will happen? These polar compounds also move faster. That means the compounds will be separated on the basis of their solubility in the mobile phase or in the solvents we are using here. So what are the basic terms of chromatography? So what is adsorption? So adsorption is interaction of solute molecules with the surface of the stationary phase. Then what is eluent? Eluent is the mobile phase here. That means the mobile phase is known as eluent. What is elution? The motion of the mobile phase on the stationary phase, that is known as elution. That means elution means the how fast the mobile phase moves over the stationary phase. Then elution time. The time taken for a solute or to pass through the system. A solute with a short elution time travels through the stationary phase rapidly, and that means it elutes fast. So elution time is known as the time taken for a solute to pass through the stationary phase. Then the part of the chromatography, the stationary phase is fixed in a place. Let us discuss what are the other basic terms of chromatography. So what is a normal phase, what is a reverse phase? So normal phase means it is the stationary phase where the polar solutes interact strongly and run slowly. That means what happens in normal phase? Normal phase, the supporting material what is taken on the stationary phase, that is normal, that is non-polar. So where polar solutes will be interact strongly and run slowly. But what happens in the reverse phase? Reverse phase is a modified stationary phase where polar solutes run fast and non-polar solutes run slowly. That means in the reverse order. That means we know that means chromatography, it is a affinity. That means it depends upon the affinity of the stationary phase. So where the stationary phase holds the compound for a long time, according to that the solutes or the components of the mixture will move. So then resolution. What is resolution? It is the degree of separation of different solutes. In principle, resolution can be improved by using a longer stationary phase. Resolution means separation. That means if separation between the two components is good or two mixture is good, that is known as your resolution. So if there is a finer stationary phase, then resolution will good and it will take less elution time. That means slower is the elution. Then what is RF value? So RF value means RF is your retardation factor. So it is the distance travelled by the solute divided by distance travelled by the solvent. So the RF value is between 0 to 1. Always the RF value of a compound is less than 1. So it is reported in 2 decimal places. So what is this RF value? How we'll just identify polar compounds and non-polar compounds? Suppose if you are taking a medium polar solvent, medium polar mobile phase, and how will separate it? So that means the compounds which is non-polar, it will move faster and the RF value of that compound is higher. If it is a polar compound, then it will move slower and the RF value of that compound is low. So by by RF value we can distinguish two different compounds, whether it is a polar compound or whether it is a non-polar compound. Let us discuss the classification of chromatography. So how the chromatography is classified into different types. So that is three different bases on which the chromatography is classified. So first is on the basis of interaction of solute to the stationary phase. So on the basis of this interaction of solute to the stationary phase, chromatography is of four different varieties. One is your adsorption chromatography, then another is your ion exchange chromatography, then partition chromatography and size exclusion chromatography. So these four chromatography variety depends upon the interaction of solute to the stationary phase. Then on the basis of chromatographic bed shape. So on the basis of shape of the stationary phase or bed of the stationary phase, chromatography is of two different types, two-dimensional and three-dimensional. So under two-dimensional there will thin layer chromatography and paper chromatography. Under three-dimensional chromatography, that is your column chromatography, it will come under this three-dimensional chromatography. Then on the basis of physical state of mobile phase. So whatever the mobile phase or solvent we are using for the separation of the components in a mixture. So on the basis of mobile phase, it is also three different types: liquid chromatography, then gas chromatography, then supercritical fluid chromatography. Liquid chromatography means here our mobile phase is a solvent or liquid. But in gas chromatography, the mobile phase is gas and the stationary phase is solid. Then supercritical fluid chromatography. What is supercritical fluid chromatography? In supercritical fluid chromatography, our mobile is in a supercritical condition. That means that is in your fluid state. That the whatever solvent used in supercritical fluid chromatography, that is the solvent or the mobile phase is in its supercritical condition. That means at critical pressure, at critical temperature, and at that state the solvent is in fluid state. Let us discuss the types of chromatographic techniques. So according to our stationary phase and mobile phase, so what are the types of chromatographic techniques? So one is your column or adsorption chromatography, generally our thin layer chromatography. So in this, so our stationary phase is solid and mobile phase is liquid. In partition chromatography, stationary phase is liquid, mobile phase is also liquid. In paper chromatography, stationary phase is also liquid, mobile phase is liquid. That means what are the moistures and that water present in the pores of water, here that will act as the stationary phase. Then thin layer chromatography. In thin layer chromatography, our stationary phase may be liquid or solid, but mobile phase is always liquid. So then gas liquid chromatography. In gas liquid chromatography, our stationary phase is liquid and mobile phase is gas. Then gas solid chromatography. In gas solid chromatography or GSC, our stationary phase is solid and mobile phase is gas. Then ion exchange chromatography. Here the stationary phase is solid and the mobile phase is liquid. That means in ion exchange chromatography, different resins are used. Cation exchange resin or anion exchange resin, that will act as the stationary phase here, that is solid. Then mobile phase is liquid. So these are the different types of chromatography on the basis of stationary phase and mobile phase. Let us discuss different classes of chromatography. First of all, we will discuss adsorption chromatography. So in adsorption chromatography, what is the principle of separation? So here the separation principle is based on the mobile phase as well as stationary phase. So here there is the mobile phase may be liquid or gaseous. So that is absorbed onto the surface of a stationary solid phase. Here in this adsorption chromatography, our mobile phase may be liquid or gas, but and stationary phase is your solid. Then what is the here stationary phase? The stationary phase, in stationary phase, the material is absorbed or filled in a tube. That means in column chromatography, we are taking silica gel and that will fill the bed of the silica gel of a definite length in a column. Then mobile phase will use various solvents. Here that means here suppose if it is a column, that means we will use the stationary bed of silica gel. So when we will do, we will just add the compound. So when the compound will meet, there is a adsorption of the compound on the surface of this silica gel bed. So this is your adsorption chromatography technique. So this is the stationary phase and where these solutes, when we will pass the solvent, the solutes will be dissolved in the liquid, and they will just on the surface of this stationary phase, they will adsorb and they will separated on the basis of their polarity. Then what are the what are the main importance of this adsorption chromatography? It is one of the oldest type of chromatography. Here the solid molecules bond directly to the surface of the stationary phase. So stationary phase may contain a variety of adsorption sites depending on the tendency with which they bind the molecules and their relative abundance. That means how long the stationary phase will bind the solids. What is the affinity of the stationary phase towards the solute or component. So this adsorption chromatography, it is of three different varieties: column chromatography, thin layer chromatography, and gas liquid chromatography. Then let us discuss what is partition chromatography. So what is the principle of partition chromatography? In this chromatography, there is partition of components of a sample between mobile phase and liquid or gas stationary phase. So here some components retard, and there is retardation of some components of sample more as compared to other. This gives the basis of separation here. So that means the compound will be just separated between the mobile phase, that is the solvent, and all the stationary phase, that may be a solvent or that may be a gas. So here also the basis of separation or partition occurs on the basis of polarity. So based on the thin film formed on the surface of a solid surface by a liquid stationary phase. So paper chromatography is one of the best example of partition chromatography. So in paper chromatography, we are using a solvent that will act as a mobile phase, and the water or moisture present on the pores of the paper of water, that will also act as your stationary phase here. Here the solute equilibrate between the mobile phase and the stationary liquid phase. So what are the different types of partition chromatography? That is liquid partition chromatography and gas liquid partition chromatography. So that means in gas liquid partition chromatography, your mobile phase is liquid and the stationary phase is gas. Let us discuss ion exchange chromatography. So ion exchange chromatography, it is a process that allows the separation of ions or polar molecule based on their affinity to the ion exchanger. So there is two type of ion exchanger, that is positive ion exchanger or negative, that is cation exchanger and anion exchanger. Here the resin is used as the stationary phase, that may be negative ion charge polymeric cations particles or positively charged polymeric particles. So this principle is used for separating charged molecules like large proteins, small nucleotides and amino acids. So here there is a sample and the components are separated, that are known as analytes. So this principle is also used for protein purification, water analysis and also quality control. Here the resin is used as a stationary phase. It is generally used to attract anions or cations onto it. And the solute ions of the opposite charge in the mobile liquid phase are attracted to the resin by electrostatic forces. Then ion exchange mechanism separates the analytes based on their respective charges. Here you see the resin is negatively charged polymeric particle. So it will attract the cations towards itself, and eluent, what are the here used, it is eluent is positively charged. So here the mobile phase is positively charged. So then it will separated, here the separation in the basis of charge, and there is cationic exchange resin and there is also anionic exchange resin. On this basis of this ion exchange resin chromatography is of two different types. Let us discuss what is ion exchange chromatography and what are the principle of ion exchange chromatography. So here this ion exchange chromatography, the compounds will separated based on their relative retention of the ions during their progress through an ion exchange column, which has functional group opposite to the charge ions attached to its surface. So stronger the charge of an ion, the greater is the retention time in the column. So ion exchange chromatography is used to separate organic charge inorganic or organic compounds. So here the stationary phase used based on the typical ion exchange regime. So ion exchange chromatography is of two types, cation exchange chromatography and anion exchange chromatography. Here the solid cations are attracted to the negatively charged sides. Here in cation exchange chromatography, the stationary phase is negatively charged and the separation and the solids to be separated, that will be positively charged. In anion exchange chromatography, the stationary phase is positively charged and the solute of interest, the solute which will be separated, that is positively charged. Then there is another chromatography, that is known as your size exclusion chromatography or SEC. So this is a chromatographic method in which the molecules in a solution are separated by their size and in some case of and in the basis of molecular weight. So here you see, that means there are two different size of molecules. So larger particles cannot enter, this is a gel separation chromatography. So larger particles cannot enter the gel, so they are excluded. Where the smaller particles, they can easily pass and they will separated. Here you see the graph. Here this is means this chromatogram corresponds to larger size and this chromatogram corresponds to smaller size particles. So the smaller size particles, they will move faster and the large size particles, they will move slower. That means in this principle, if it is usually applied to large molecules or macromolecular complexes such as proteins and polymers. So when an aqueous solution is used to transport this sample through the column, the technique is known as gel filtration chromatography. That means this is also known as gel permeation chromatography, which is used when an organic solvent is used as a mobile phase. That means here there is the in size exclusion chromatography, the separation is based on the size of the solute particles. So what is the principle in size exclusion chromatography? See, here the mixture of molecules dissolved in a mobile phase is applied to the chromatographic column. So this chromatographic column which contain a solid stationary phase of microscopic spheres, that is known as beads. So that means here the mass of the beads with the column is referred to as the column bead. So the bead will act as a sieve here, which will filter the small molecules which became temporarily trapped within the pores. So here in size exclusion chromatography, the components will separate on the basis of size. So large molecules are excluded from the beads. So large sample molecules that cannot partially penetrate through the pores, whereas small molecules or smaller molecules can easily pass through the pores. So larger the molecule, that will elute first and smaller molecule will elute later. Then these particles of different size will elute through a stationary phase at different rates. That means it is one type of filtration techniques going on here. That means in size exclusion chromatography, large molecules will elute faster and small molecules will elute later. That means in this method, we can separate large molecules and small molecules based upon their size. What are the references you can follow? This is the book Analytical Chemistry by G.T. Christian, and you can also follow Exploring Chemical Analysis by T.C. Harris, and you can also follow Basic Concept of Analytical Chemistry by S.M. Cooper. And these are the references and these are the source material from internet you can follow for this class. Thank you all.